I'm currently in the middle of a few books, and there are about 3 books that I really want to start. I just haven't had the time to. And instead of picking them like a normal person and picking what book we're going to read today, I decided to let fate handle it. So we're going to put all those names of those books in a jar. We're going to shake it up a little bit, and we're going to pick one. And the ones that don't get picked, we don't talk about them anymore. That's none of our business. But first, we definitely have to slow clap for today's sponsor. It's Nourish, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this is one of the easiest sponsorships I get to do because I'm actually obsessed with this company. Nourish connects you with certified dietitians across the US, and they help you with a variety of different nutritional concerns or health concerns. Now, for me personally, I don't have any health concerns as of yet, but I wanted proactive care because you guys know I really do care about my health, and I try to do as much as possible to facilitate a healthy and long life. Now, when I connected with my dietitian, her name is Amy, by the way. I'm obsessed with Amy. And I just told her my goals, what I currently do, and I didn't even realize how many health myths that I lived my life by that she helped me correct and try to find better solutions for. She was so helpful. I literally have met her multiple times at this point. I have my next appointment scheduled, and the best part is with Nourish, they connect with hundreds of different insurance plans all throughout the United States, and 94% of Nourish customers don't pay any money because their insurance covers it. So make sure you check them out because I think health is absolutely wealth. You cannot do anything if you're not healthy, if you're not feeling well, and it doesn't matter what your health concerns are. Maybe you want to be proactive like me, or maybe it's just women's health in general. Maybe you have diabetes or gut concerns or even eating disorders. Not only do they help you with your diet, but they also help you with your relationship with food. And this has been such a wonderful experience. I genuinely didn't think I was going to get much value out of it before, but after meeting with her the first time, I immediately made my next few appointments, and I'm obsessed. She's definitely going to be a staple in my life, and I promise you I'm being 100% authentic here. I am so grateful to be working with a company like this who puts health first in such a universal way, because it's a great way to connect with licensed professionals without leaving the comfort of your home. You're connecting on a Zoom call wherever you are, no matter what time. As long as you find someone who can fit your schedule, you're all set. So if you would like to check out Nourish as well, make sure you check the link in the description below, because I genuinely think this is something worth investing in. Now, thank you again, Nourish, for sponsoring this portion of the video. So on one piece of paper, I'm just going to write down books that I'm currently in the middle of, and then the other ones will have the names of the other 3 books, and these are the other 3 books. The first one is Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. The Graveyard Shift is about 5 different people on a college campus that happen to cross paths every single night at a church graveyard. And one day when they're going to that graveyard or being around that graveyard, they find an empty grave, and it's just random. It's completely open. They don't know who dug it and who it's for, and it's in a very eerie, very weird place. So we follow these 5 strangers getting to know each other and also trying to figure out what's going on here. It's very eerie, and it has a gothic academic backdrop, and it just sounds really cool. It's also very short, so I feel like this will be a very fun, very quick, easy read. Then of course we have Last Summer in the City. We keep talking about this book, and this is actually officially in my June TBR. Again, this is about a man from Rome. He's in his 30s. He's not really going anywhere in life, and it just follows him in this one summer trying to figure out who he is, why he has no motivation, and things like that. And because it's about summer, it's almost June now, I just feel like it'd be the perfect quick read, and maybe I'll learn some things from it. And last but not least is a classic. It is The Stranger by Albert Camus. This book is by a French author, and it's a book about this man who unwittingly gets himself involved in a murder, and he has to figure out what's going on, but he has no motivation, no care whatsoever what happens to him or his life. And so even when he's in this very dire situation, you see him not really care about anything. And the author Camus basically explains that this is the story of a man, or the nakedness of man faced with the absurd. And that just sounds so insane. I don't know where he's going to take this. What does that mean? How are we going to get him out of this situation? And again, it's a very short book. I've heard really great things about it. A few of my friends have actually read it this year, so I feel like this will be the perfect addition for this month. So these are the 3 books that we could be reading. Now, the 2 books that I'm already in the middle of is, of course, Iron Gold. That is the 4th book in the Red Rising series. This one is taking me a bit of time, but I'm really enjoying it, and I would love to just check this off my list now because I hear that the next book is one of the best books in the series, and I'm really excited to get to that. And the last book is The Roommate Risk. This is a romance by Talia Hibert, and this is an adult romance. It's very cute. It's a forced proximity situation. She is living in his apartment because something happened to her apartment, and they've been best friends for 7 years. He's been pining over this woman for so long, and she's finally like letting down her walls to let him love her, and it's just so cute, and I would love to finish it. It is a short book, but it's my gym book, so I only read it at the gym, and I would love to just be done with it already because I do want to read some other books. So these are our options now. now. Now we just have to write the names in a jar. Now I don't have a jar, so we will be using a cup today and this little piece of paper. So number 1 is a book that I'm already currently reading. What do you want? What do you want, bubs? I was thinking about wrapping them, but I feel like that's always more fun during the holiday season. Plus this is a lot easier. Now I will say, out of all of these books, I really want to read The Stranger or The Graveyard Shift, but honestly, all of these options are pretty good, so I won't be mad either way. Let me know in the comments which one you want me to read, and let's see if you get it right. Also, while you're down there, you already know what I'm gonna say. Yeah, like and subscribe. I feel like we haven't used a jar in such a long time. This is fun. Okay, we're gonna fold them up in little pieces like this. I don't know why, but now I'm nervous. It's time to pick ASMR. I predict we're reading The Stranger. Yeah. You put in your prediction. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. We are reading. Oh my God. I got it right. We're reading The Stranger. If you guys are looking for a psychic in your area, make sure you like and subscribe and comment what you need down below. I'll see if I can pencil you in. We're reading The Stranger. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I've definitely been missing like our classics era, because usually before this month, I believe, before May, we read one classic a month, and I really liked that. I thought that was perfect pacing, but May we did not read a single classic. So this is fixing that. I love that. I'm so excited. I've been in the house all weekend, so I really want to read outside, but the only thing is it's been raining nonstop for the past week, so I'm pretty sure the weather's not going to be nice, so we need to find somewhere inside to read. Don't worry your little heart about it though, because I know the perfect place. I think we should read at Barnes. I don't know about you. I'm literally talking about reading. Don't look at me like that. I'm literally talking about reading, nothing else. If a book, maybe even plural books, happen to find their way into our bag, what can we do? What can we do? I don't know. But before we go to Barnes, I'm starving. I literally have not had a meal all day, so I think we should eat at one of my favorite restaurants. It's called Some Ramen, and it is delicious. They have the best ramen, at least in New Jersey. They have the best ramen in New Jersey. So that's where we're gonna go first, and maybe we could do a little reading while we're there. Also, I know it's really bad, but I'm a little bit of a speeder. Just a little. I don't know. It's just, I don't understand when there are people who are driving. First of all, if you're driving less than the speed limit, what is going on? What is it? They have them for a reason. But then, if you're not driving above the speed limit, also what's going on? Because they're really just suggestions. Really. I just know cops watching this are taking down my information, trying to figure out where I am. I'm not that bad. I'm just saying. Exactly what we needed. It was delicious. Oh my God, I love that place. My belly feels like warm and happy. Now we can actually read. I did read a few pages while I was in there, but it's hard to eat something like ramen and read a book. Like, there's just no way. And not only that, I'm the type of person who doesn't like to get my books messed up. So if I was reading, I was putting my food down. And if I was eating, I had to put my book down. So it was hard to do both of those, but I did have a good time. It's just always so quiet in there, and it's very quaint too. Like, it's not too big, but it's also not super small. It's like this hidden gem near my house, and I just love it so much. So now I'm happy. Now I'm ready to rock and roll and see how much reading we can get done today. We made it! I always get irrationally happy every single time we come here, but it's just something about being surrounded by books. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's go. I feel like we usually don't read in here though, so that's why this is extra fun, because we usually are spending money we're not supposed to, but today we're doing that. We're not doing that. Sorry, I don't know who said that. We're not doing that. We're reading, so it's different. Okay, we'll do a singular lap and then we'll get to business. Good morning, or should I say good afternoon. It is the next day, and I do want to show you the books that I bought at Barnes yesterday. I'm pretty happy with them. We got 4 of them. Did not expect that at all, but here we are. And I want to do rapid fire. So the first thing I got was Blue Sisters. I wanted to read this book for so long, and one of my friends told me that she just recently read it and it was so good. It's basically literary fiction, and it's about these sisters as they're dealing with grief and just their own connection within themselves as well as individuals. And it just sounds really good. It has really great ratings on Goodreads, and I've been wanting to pick it up for the longest time, so I finally got it. Mostly because it's finally in paperback. Before it was hardcover, and I hate hardcover. So when I saw it like this, I was like, okay, now I can finally get it. Then I also got this classic. It is I Who Have Never Known Men. I've heard of this book, but I don't know anything about it. And I saw it on the banned book shelf, but I don't know if it was actually a banned book because it was the only one there. So because of that, I was like, don't have to tell me twice. It's about these women who are stuck in this cave or jail underground, and they've never met any men before, obviously, as the name suggests, but it's like way more sinister than that. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds really interesting. It looks like it's a banned book, but I wasn't sure, again, because I was the only one there, so we'll see. But I definitely wanted to add it to our classics collection. Then I got this book because Shaughnessy recently read it. It is The Nickel Boys. This is a book that is so harrowing, so unfortunate, and I've been meaning to read it. It's just with books like this, I always get afraid to read them because I take on the emotions and feelings and anger of whatever book I'm reading. So I know this is going to piss me off, but I also know it's necessary. I think now more than ever, it's important to educate yourself, even if it makes you uncomfortable. So that's why I have The Nickel Boys. And last but not least, I also got Fear of Flying. This is another Penguin classic. I really love this cover. There's something about red. I love hints of red, and I love like a simple design. This is about a woman and her discovering her own sexuality as she grows up and kind of discovers who she is as well. And it follows that story. And those are the 4 books we got that we weren't necessarily supposed to get. Now, while I was there, I was able to read the first 2 chapters of this book, and this is a very small book, so we haven't gotten very far, but there are a few things that I want to know. Number 1, So far, this book is very interesting with how the writer decides to have the tone of the book. It's very matter of fact, almost like a step away from the character. It's very clinical. Every time he talks about what he's going through or what he's doing, it's very detailed and it's very just matter of fact. You have no real emotion. You don't really know this person so far within the first 2 chapters. So while I'm reading it, I'm like, it's kind of a little bit boring because I don't know what's supposed to happen. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt because, again, we're not that far in and this is a short book. I know it's going to have to start ramping up rather soon. So I'm interested to see how we're going to go from this to a potential murder. So very interested. So far, I'm still intrigued and we're going to continue reading it now. It is Sunday though. And Sunday, as you can see, is my like reset day. So I'm going to do my hair first. I'm going to wash my hair. And then while I'm under the dryer, I will read more. And hopefully I'll have a little bit more to talk about as we read more of the book. So I went into this book thinking one thing, and I just got to a part where I realized I was completely wrong. First of all, we already know that this is about a murder. The main character somehow gets involved with a murder or in a murder. And initially going into this book, I was like, oh man, I wonder how he got himself into that. Like maybe it's a case of stolen identity or the wrong identity type of situation. And in the initial few chapters, I was still thinking that way. Well, in part 1, which I just finished while I was doing my hair, we got to the murder. And it was very clear that I was very incorrect. There was no confusion about it whatsoever. And now I'm like looking at this character completely different because throughout this entire time, it's like 60 pages or so, you're thinking he has no feeling toward anything. He's completely apathetic about life in general, not just his life, just life in general. And there's certain life instances that happen where usually a normal person would have like some type of emotional reaction and nothing is going on. But when this murder happens, you get a glimpse of something outside of that mask he's portraying or kind of showing, and you see maybe he's not apathetic, maybe he really genuinely is unhappy. And that was really interesting to see because first of all, I did not see the murder going down that way. I didn't expect that. And secondly, I just thought I saw the character one way, and it was just really cool and very interesting to see him just in a flash and literally a sentence be someone else. It's like the last sentence of this last part. And I'm like, wait a second. And it gives you pause and time to really reassess everything that you've read already and try to see it through this lens of new information. So it's really cool. And I'm definitely enjoying the book. I think we have like 70 pages or so left. No, that's not true. I think we have like a little over 50. So we can definitely knock it out now. I finished my hair clearly. And if anybody says anything about how I look right now, meet 1 and 2. But just you wait, little mama. It's gonna look so good tomorrow. You're not even gonna have room to laugh. Just right now, we look a little crazy. Anyway, we're gonna finish strong, and I'll tell you my final thoughts with the book. I want to read a section to you just so that you can see how apathetic this man is towards his life and kind of the trajectory it's going, because it's so interesting to me that someone can be so detached even from themselves. And here, this is when he's in prison after the entire murder situation. And he said, "Surely after that was when she wrote to me, and the things I've never talked about again. Anyway, I shouldn't exaggerate, and it was easier for me than for others. When I was first in prison, the hardest thing was that my thoughts were those of a free man. For example, I would suddenly have the urge to be on a beach and to walk down to the water. As I imagined the sound of the first waves under my feet, my body entering the water, and the sense of relief it would give me. All of a sudden, I would feel just how closed in I was by the walls of my cell. But that only lasted a few months. Afterward, my only thoughts were those of a prisoner. I waited for the daily walk, which I took in the courtyard, or a visit from my lawyer. The rest of the time, I managed pretty well. All the time, I often thought that if I had had to live in the trunk of a dead tree, with nothing to do but look up at the sky flowering overhead, little by little, I would have gotten used to it. I would have waited for birds to fly by or clouds to mingle, just as here I waited to see my lawyer's tie, and just as in another world, I used to wait patiently until Saturday to hold Marie's body in my arms. Now, as I think back on it, I wasn't in a hollow tree trunk. There were others worse off than me. Anyway, it was one of Mama's ideas, and she often repeated it, that after a while you could get used to anything." Like, how interesting. And this entire book is written from that type of conscious ideology, and it's really interesting for him to be so blatantly not into anything, and then randomly you'll see a little bit of emotion. And I think because it's so plain throughout most of the book, when you see those little bits of emotion, they stand out so much because it's so stark compared to everything else. And though this story hasn't really been a fast read for me, it is something that is keeping my interest just because it's so different, and his thinking and the way he's living is just so interesting. And I think I'm also trying to really dissect his thought process a little more just to understand how he could let his life get to this point. It's just so interesting. I've never read a book like this. I finally finished the book, and it was so interesting to see him not only go through this existential crisis after his entire case, while he was waiting in prison, the thoughts that kind of occupied his time, occupied his mind, were so interesting, because I think sometimes we get to a point where we get numb from life, and seeing him kind of dissect his own life from a removed place and then where he is now was very interesting. I think the only thing that I can describe this book as is very interesting. And I did enjoy it, but it was so strange. And there were certain things that I highlighted, things that he would say that were interesting to me, and things that were put in a new perspective that I've never thought of before. And it just made me want to live life more intentionally, just because seeing lives like this, even if it's fiction, obviously it's fiction, but it makes you realize like life is extremely fleeting and we only get this one shot at it. And some people are so careless with theirs, and it's very scary because it's like we are given this gift to live, and I don't want to get too philosophical here, but like we have this gift to simply exist, and to see it thrown away so carelessly is a little jarring, because it's like it makes you take a step back and reassess your own life and think like, could I be doing something more, like to avoid being someone at this extreme? But then you also have like some type of care for this character, because you see his inner dialogue and how he's lived detached from other things as well, and you care for him, and even though you don't agree with what he's doing or how he's thinking, you still can kind of understand what has brought him to this place. And it was just a large mix of emotions here, and I definitely liked it. I think if anything, if I had to rate this, I would probably give this like, I think I might give it like a 3.75 or a 4-star, just because it really did make me think and look at myself and assess myself differently. And I love books that can make you do that. And this was such a short ride. And I thought it was going to end on a positive note. Naively, I thought it was going to end on a positive note. And it just forced me to look at reality differently. And, you know, I'm not saying that it did or it didn't, but it definitely made me do a lot of reflection. So this was fun. Choosing a blind date with a book was definitely an interesting ride. Let me know if this was a book that you would have picked or you would have wanted me to pick. If you would ever do a blind date with a book challenge before, because I'm going to say I was going to read this no matter what, but I don't know when I would have read it, and I'm really glad that I did read it now. Sometimes I feel like books occur in your life, or you read books in your life at the right time, and it was just nice to read this one. So I'm glad that we did this challenge. Let me know if you would ever do this challenge, and please continue to like and subscribe. I love y'all so much. I'm going to go to bed because I'm tired. It is past my bedtime, and I'll see you guys in the next video.